Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy. Today we're going to be taking a look at my favourite games from 2024. There's a little bit of a caveat to that. This is primarily stuff that I played in 2024. But ultimately, we're going to be focused on mainly games that came out, with a couple of exceptions. 2024 was a very interesting year. A lot of remakes, a lot of remasters, a lot of stuff that I personally had a lot of nostalgia for, and that is going to show through in this video. There is a lot of stuff that came out. Obviously, I can't get to everything. 2024 was also a year where I did go back and play a lot of my back catalogue, specifically on my PC. So a lot of that year was very much, let's focus on stuff that I already own, haven't played, give my videos and stuff on that. So we've got two piles here. I want to start with my honourable mentions. These are games that I played, but maybe I didn't finish or didn't play as much as I wanted to. And then I've got a little bit of a pile here of the games. Primarily this stuff is all on Switch, some of the stuff's multi-platform. There are games I played on PC this year, but none of it came out, and it was, more for the multiplayer experience. And I had fun with those games as well, but nothing that really stood out to me personally for, 2024. So what I want to do is I want to start with this list of Switch games. I want to start off with, this is in no particular order, these are just honourable mentions I want to make a point of. Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I never actually finished this. I got about halfway through the game. Very much liked the game, but I fell off of it quite hard because other things were coming out at the time. And I want to go back and finish it. Very, very cute game, very lovable game. Ultimately, an interesting take on the Zelda franchise. I think this game needed to exist. Not the best performance, but ultimately just something that was fun to play, unique twists. A patch would have probably fixed some of the inventory stuff on it, but a fun game nonetheless, a very cute game, and something that, like I said, I definitely want to go back and finish. Here's a game that I kind of like. So, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is a very, very good game in the Metroidvania genre. The reason why I wanted to mention this game is, you can see here this little Ubisoft logo. These guys shut this team down, and this is probably the best thing they released all year in 2024, was this game. And despite it being a smaller project with a smaller budget, and yeah, alright, it was very difficult in a lot of ways, and I didn't like some of the boss fights. The actual core gameplay is very solid. It is a tough game. It's probably the best accessibility options I've seen in a very, very long time. This game deserves a lot of respect. If you haven't played it, this is probably a 20-hour game, I would imagine, if you're not trying to collect everything, maybe slightly longer. But yeah, I just want a big F you to Ubisoft, because this was interesting and original and fun and a good game that they released. Super Mario Party Jamboree is probably one of the Mario Party games I've played the most. I've had an absolute blast playing this game. As a multiplayer experience, this game is phenomenally fun. It's like any Mario Party, but the boards are really, really good. Me and Mark played a lot of it. I played a lot of it with other people as well, and it was just a perfect game to pull out and play, and it's just been awesomely fun. So I don't have a lot more to say on it other than I've had a blast playing it. Same goes with WarioWare Move It. This game actually, funny enough, my Joy-Con have been kind of knackered, so I've not been able to play the the two-player on it. So I'm looking forward to that now. I've got a new Joy-Con. It's WarioWare, right? It's a lot of fun. Apologies about the God rays behind me, wherever it is there. I need to do something about that. But yeah, ultimately fun WarioWare, very funny. Love that sort of stuff. These Super Mario RPG definitely didn't come out in 2024. I played it at the beginning of the year and I absolutely loved it. I really didn't like the SNES original, but what I liked about this game was it was a little bit on the easier side, and it also improved in some quality of life. This is a very short game. I did it in about 10 hours, which is a really nice length for an RPG. So, and the last two are Sonic. I want to shout this game out because not only is Sonic Generations a really good game, I've not even touched the Shadow part. I have watched a friend of mine play a bit of it, but this is a win for Sonic fans. This game is really cool. This is the Day 1 edition, comes with a few extra bits, so I know that there's like DLC for getting Keanu Reeves in it. But ultimately, this having Generations in it and also a brand new, it's like two games in one. This is really, really solid. And if you're a Sonic fan, you ultimately pick it up. And then lastly, a bit of a weird one, but I managed to get my copy of it in 2024, and that is Borderlands 3 Ultimate Edition. Comes with all the DLC. It is not the best version on Switch. However, the fact that this is on Switch, I now have every single Borderlands game on Switch. I had a lot of fun with it. Would recommend if you can't get it on anything else. Fun to play. Right, let's get to the games. Let's do it in order of what I played this year and how they came out. So, there are 4 games that I played in 2024 that are what I would call my games of the year. 3 of those games are remakes or remasters. That's just the kind of year it's been, and there is nothing wrong with that being the case, because I personally, and this is just my personal list, love these games. So, the first one that came out in the beginning of the year was Mario vs. Donkey Kong. I was so surprised when this game was announced originally, and it got a remake, and I love this game. I love the original Game Boy Advance. Now, I have seen some criticism towards this game that I disagree with. Yes, it has got the Mario sterile kind of thing, where it's got the UI and there's a cute little picture in there, look at that. It's got the UI, it's got all that sort of stuff from a particular, like the new Super Mario Bros. Time and 3D World, where they use the same sort of fonts and textures and stuff like that. But the core gameplay of this game is so good. They've added in 2 extra worlds, they've added in a ton of levels, there is a ton of content. It is a puzzle game that revolves around you, Mario, collecting that big key there, and then saving the mini Marios that Donkey Kong's got. I love it. I cannot believe that we've got this small little game from the Game Boy Advance to put onto Switch. This is absolutely like one of my favourite games this year. Yes, it's, you know, the series in my opinion went downhill after Mario vs. Donkey Kong, the first one, because they became touchscreen based. But this game was based on the old Mario, Donkey Kong 94, I think it is, where you get past the main part and you then get like these levels where you play as Mario. He's very agile, he's got backflips and stand on his hands and all sorts of stuff. The game now feels quite easy compared to when I originally played it on the Game Boy Advance, but I really don't like a lot of the criticisms this game gets, when people are like, oh, it's a bit boring. It's not. It's a really solid puzzle game, and it's probably, like, this is why I'm talking about it right now. This is one of my favourite games that I've played all of 2024, and I think people are going to disagree, and that's fine. But this was a game that I just didn't, I never expected to see this come back, and I really love it. Fantastic game. Next up, we get into May. You probably already know what's coming. Paper Mario 1000 Year Door remake. Doesn't say remake on it, it just says Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. They didn't treat it like remake or remaster or anything like that. But this game, compared to the original, is like probably one of the best looking games on Switch. It's just phenomenal. It's such a good story. The interesting thing about me replaying this game now was being able to be significantly better and understand the game significantly better than when I played it back on the GameCube. I love this game. This is one of the best RPGs I've ever played. It's up there with like Xenoblade and things like that for me, or if you want a different type of RPG, Divinity Original Sin 2. This sits in the pantheon of great RPGs. It's like this, Divinity, Xenoblade Chronicles to me. Like, I love it. Fantastic game. And just the visual overhaul is just mwah. This is one of the, honestly, in terms of art style, there are not many games that look better than this. Right, and is there anything inside? Oh, we've got a nice little map of the world. It's going to be hard to see. There's your characters down there, and then there's the map of the world that you go around. It's funny. It's got great writing. It's got great characters. Might be quite hard to see, but all those people surrounding Mario or people you get in your party. Honestly, like, again, the game I never thought would get a remake. I own a copy of this on GameCube, and I love it. I think it is one of the best RPGs I've ever played. So, as you're seeing a bit of a theme, very Mario heavy year, and that does not stop, because with our next game that came out in November, Mario and Luigi Brothership. Sorry about the reflections. This game got a little bit of criticism, and there are elements to this game, like the performance, where I can kind of agree with it. But do you know what? This is the best one I have played since the original Mario and Luigi. The soundtrack to this game has blown me away. Probably my favourite soundtrack of the year. I haven't quite finished this one. In fact, I'm on the final boss of that, and I'm on the final stretch of this game. But I've had so much fun playing this game. I love the Mario and Luigi series of the ones I've played. There's only a couple of the games I haven't. And this one, again, a lot of the criticism leveled at, like, performance, I completely get. I can completely understand the performance of this game. But some of the other criticisms I don't agree with. The soundtrack is the best it's been since the first game. The gameplay and combat is some of the best it's been since the first game. And honestly, like, this is an RPG that, again, has a lot of character. It's very funny. Some of the writing early on isn't great, but for the most part, it shows their relationship amazingly in this game. Really, really, really liked it. And, you know, I will finish this game because I've taken a bit of a break from it, but This is actually the only game, my 4 games, that isn't like a remake or a remaster. But if you've got a Switch and you're interested in like this battle system, these 2 games have the best RPG battle systems in any RPGs, right? This one I prefer just a little bit more, but they're active battle systems. They're so good. I have not played an RPG that has a better system than at least this game. I love how this game works, right? So ultimately, those 3 games, it's been the year of Mario, right? Okay, it's a remake in a smaller series, but those 3 games alone have been phenomenal. But there is one more game that I played and beat over the Christmas holidays that I do plan on picking up on PC as well, and I think I might stream it at some point, and that is this little fella here, Little Big Adventure Twinston's Quest. Now I'm going to pop out the 3D front here because there we go. A little bit of 3D. You can't really see it on the camera, but this I did a stream of when it came out. I remember them announcing this game. I cannot believe that in the year 2024 this game of all games has returned. It's kind of hard to describe the nostalgia hit that this game gave me if you didn't play this back in the 90s. Now I didn't. I played it a few years later in the 2000s, but I know about this game and I've known about this game a long time. So Little Big Adventure originally was like 94, I believe, and then the second one was 96. These guys have gone back and modernized. This is a game that deserved a remake in the sense that this is a remake but didn't necessarily need to happen. You could have ported over the old version, it would have been fine. This is a game that definitely needed a remake, because while I like the original versions and I still love the original game, the update to the controls, the quality of life, all that sort of stuff makes this infinitely more playable. Now, it's not a very long game. I think for a first playthrough, if you've never played it before, it's going to take you 8 to 10 hours at most. I think if you know what you're doing, it would be about 5 to 8 hour game. And some people might be put off by the fact that it seems quite short. But for me, I love the fact that this game is, for its time, was very much like an adventure game, had its unique mechanics, all that sort of stuff. They've condensed some of that down, made it a lot more viable for newer players in the way the controls work. Yes, on Switch, it definitely has some issues with loading, and it has some issues with frame rate, so it might be better on picking it on something else. But I'm incredibly biased. Look, I am super biased to this because it's a game from my past, like 2 of the other games are here. But this game made me smile ear to ear because, again, it's not something I'd ever thought we'd see. They've already said they want to do the second game. They've already said it was originally going to be a trilogy and they want to make a 3rd game, and that excites me, and this turned out beautifully. I hope that the second game isn't much longer than this. I think, again, 8 to 10 hours is perfect for the type of adventure game that this is, and then when they do a 3rd one, that maybe they stick to that kind of length of time as well. I am so glad that this exists, and this is why 2024 for a lot of people isn't going to be the most memorable year in terms of games, brand new games. Like, there's definitely games that came out. You know, I've yet to play Indiana Jones at the time of this recording. That's apparently a fantastic game. There's a lot of stuff that came out that are probably amazing gems. There's a ton of indie games, I'm sure, as well. But for me, being able to have a remake of some of my favourite games in the past with the quality of life, to replay these games many years on, and also a brand new Mario Luigi game as well, like, it's been a good year. It's been a very good year. And I know that in 2025 now we're looking at like a Switch 2 and possibly some big games like a new GTA and things like that. So yeah, you know, 2024 is not going to go down as a monumental year. But as somebody who loves Mario, as somebody who got like a crazy remake in LBA, plus those other games, those honorable mentions, the things I got to play on my Switch, like a new Zelda game. Alright, it wasn't my favourite game, but I still loved it. It was still fun and fresh. You know, the Sonic Cross Shadow generation, that's a win for Sonic fans. Like, I think sometimes we put too much stock in like what we call the heavy hitters, like a brand new 3D Mario and stuff like that, like a brand new GTA game. It's like, no, let's not look beyond what we have. The fact that this exists, the fact that any of these games exist, like, this is not going to be exciting to a lot of people, but it's exciting to me. Same with this, you know, same with Mario Luigi Brothership. Like, those 4 games alone have made my year. I'm super grateful that we got just quality titles, because the games were already good originally, but updated quality titles for a modern audience, and it just makes me super happy that we are, you know, nothing's off the table now. You know, I haven't even... I managed to get myself a copy of Worms Anniversary Edition for Switch. That's a whole nother kettle of fish, right? But, like, the fact that we get, you know, so many cool editions of games. And I think, yeah, okay, you might be disappointed we don't get the big hitters or maybe as much new stuff. But honestly, for me, for my Switch got used a lot this year because I had a lot to play. You know, and on PC, I played things like, just shout outs to things like Generation Zero, Void Crew, like just games that I got to play this year that not necessarily came out this year. I've played a lot of good stuff, and I'm very grateful for the things we have. But yeah, ultimately, those 4 games: Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, Mario Luigi Brothership, and Little Big Adventure, Twinson's Odyssey, Twinson's Quest, sorry. Those 4 games alone are my games of 2024. Let me know what your favourite games are of 2024. I'm sure there's a ton of stuff that came out that I missed. Maybe it's some of the other games that I've got down here. Some of these things that might have come out that people might have enjoyed. Those are my 4. Those are my big hitters, if you will. And I'm looking forward to playing many, many more things and catching up on that back catalogue Anyway, thank you very much for watching as always. If you like the video, hit like. If you want to see more content like this, then hit subscribe. Links for Facebook and Twitter will be down below in the description as always. And until next video, I will see you then.